So I'm here this afternoon with one of the UK's leading property solicitors, and Ricardo Map dos Anjos has been in the property legal field. He's now a property partner for Fisher Meredith, which is based in Chancery Lane, Holborn. Almost a couple of decades your specialism has been residential property law.
That's right, yes.
So we're going to focus on some of the key questions which are focused on auctions. I've got some documentation prepared in advance. So we're going to split this interview into two sections. One is about purchasing and the second section is about selling. So just looking at purchasing, in terms of getting all the relevant information about property beforehand, what's key in terms of getting that in advance, particularly property searches?
Sure. Well, generally speaking, if you're looking to make a bid on an auction property, you will find that the auction house in this modern day and age will have a downloadable legal pack online, so that you can usually log online. Perhaps you might need to join, give them some basic information, and then you can download the legal pack, which probably may not mean a great deal to you, depending on how experienced you are in the purchasing field, but certainly will be to your lawyer. So you would need to then ask your lawyer to investigate that pack.
Sure. Look, you know, some people may find out about the auctions quite late on and so forth. Ideally, though, it's best to consult your lawyer beforehand.
Yes, as soon as you think there's a prospect of making a bid upon a property, then the earlier that you can instruct your solicitor, the better. If he receives early instruction, he can read through that legal pack, and he may even have a slim possibility of raising some inquiries, and sometimes the occasional seller solicitor might be open to answering responses. Sometimes they're not, but in any event, the sooner the lawyer can actually read the material, he can go through the material, see if there's any glaring problems that may make the property unmarketable, unmortgageable, or undesirable, and he can tell you at an early stage before you commit yourself to additional costs, perhaps evaluation, perhaps initial fees with arranging a mortgage, or even deter you from looking at other options. So the sooner you can get your lawyer to investigate the legal pack, the better.
And in terms of the bidding process, some people may come along to the meet in person or may actually phone up. What's your view on which one would be better, or which one would you advise your clients normally to proceed with?
It's really up to the individual. It's often a case of location. Where's the auction, and what's your timetable? Have you got the time to devote to attending the auction? If you have and you're happy to go along, you might enjoy and get the feel of the room, see how things are going. Many auction houses will have a facility for you to bid online. You need to contact the individual auction house to find out how that operates. It might be online or by telephone, increasingly becoming a bit more responsive to the modern world. So you can, but for most people, traditionally it will be to attend and wave their arm and put their bid in.
Sure. And in terms of about the bid, when it's accepted, and then you're thinking, was that such a smart move?
Well, the moment your bid becomes successful, that's the exchange of contracts. As in a conventional transaction, when you're buying a house, you eventually reach a point when you're satisfied, you've done all your due diligence, you've got your funding in place, and your solicitor will exchange the contract. In an auction house, the moment your bid is accepted, you're the highest bidder, a hammer falls, then that contract is exchanged. So you are then contractually obliged to complete the transaction within the timescale specified within that particular contract, typically 14 or 28 days after the auction date, and to pay the balance of the purchase money. You will pay your deposit at that stage, and then the balance upon completion.
So let's just go one further on that. So someone's thinking, look, I've bid, it's gone through, and I found out some information about the property which may have affected my decision if I'd known before. What's my recourse?
Well, if you've if you've successfully bid and the contract has been exchanged, you're in the same position as any buyer would be that's exchanged the contract. You're contractually bound to proceed with the purchase. If there has been some deliberate or contrived fraud, there may be some potential recourse, but generally speaking, you're obliged to complete the purchase. If you don't complete the purchase, then you almost certainly forfeit your 10% deposit, which may or may not be an economic choice and may be desirable depending upon how adverse the information or the position is. But generally speaking, you would be obliged to proceed. You would lose your 10% deposit, and you may potentially be sued for some further damages, which may or may not be successful, but it is a possibility, which goes back to my earlier point that you've got to do your due diligence as early as possible, investigate the property legally, consider the possibility of evaluation also, all prior to committing to that auction bid.
Ricardo, I just want to say huge thanks for taking time out this afternoon. So for those of you who are thinking about selling at auction, join us for the next video. Thanks for the moment.
Thank you.